While watching Season 1, Episode 7 of Andor, I had to stop and rewind a particular scene. A scene that got me thinking about costuming in a way that hadn't occurred to me before as a lifelong Star Wars fan. This is not unexpected from a franchise with some of the most iconic costume designs in cinema history, for better or worse. Compared to other Star Wars properties, Andor just hits different. The story is a poignant allegory of authoritarian politics, set to begin the course of events as we know them in the Star Wars canon. Each plotline and interaction feels relatable to conflicts we're all challenged with today, making each character feel grounded in a world of high fantasy. While most modern Star Wars properties are burdened by commercial expectations to sell toys and make blockbuster numbers, Andor stands out by the strength of its narrative. The show has the refinement of a prestige drama, with a dynamic cast featuring actors from Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and Lord of the Rings. It got a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Pretty much everyone loves it. I love it. There are so many things Andor does well, but in this video, I want to focus on how Andor masters the art of style. In visual art, stories are told through a series of colors and shapes. Color drives the emotional impact of a story, while shapes craft the physical space. Styling combines color and shape to build the visual representation of a character. Great styling can tell the audience more about a character than any single line of dialogue. So, what constitutes great styling? Let's take a quick look at a few popular theories. In Carol Jackson's 1987 book, Color Me Beautiful, the 12-season color analysis system classifies people into one of the 4 seasons, within one of 3 variations, based on the natural colors of their eyes, hair, and skin. The analysis looks at a person's hue, the warmth or coolness of their undertones, value, or contrast between their features, and chroma, or their saturation of color. In theory, dressing by your color season should present the most elevated, refined version of your authentic self. For example, Mark Hamill has warm undertones, low contrast in his blonde features, and bright blue eyes. This means he's a true spring. Alternatively, Adam Driver has cool undertones, high contrast between his dark hair and light skin, and saturated chroma. This makes him a dark winter. Another popular theory, proposed by David Kibbe in his book Metamorphosis, focuses on the natural shapes made by a person's body. He classifies these shapes on a scale from dramatic yang to youthful yin. Yang bodies typically appear tall and long, with angular curves, pronounced features, and a sense of boldness. Note the sharp angles made by Laura Dern's cheekbones, side profile, arms, and shoulders. In contrast, a sense of delicacy or youthfulness defines yin bodies. Kelly Marie Tran's soft curves, rounded features, and youthful energy exemplify the yin image identity. Now let's take a look at how these styling theories apply in Andor, starting first with Mon Mothma. The character of Mon Mothma first appeared in Return of the Jedi in 1983, played by Caroline Blankiston. She's dressed in what looks like a white sheet bunched at the forearm for a 3/4 length sleeve, with tarnished silver rope or chain fastened to her shoulders to simulate parliamentary attire. Pretty bland and unmemorable, though her red pixie cut is iconic. Decades later, in 2005, Genevieve O'Reilly first assumed the role of Mon Mothma in Revenge of the Sith. With her character relegated to a deleted scene, her styling is somehow both better and worse. Her robes were updated from a white sheet to a more tailored monochromatic cream. However, in keeping with the train wreck of the canonical first 3, Mon Mothma was forced to wear a restrictive silver headdress that clashed with her red hair. Her robes are baggy with a comically high collar that makes her head look small. Just as her character was given little screen time, Mon Mothma's costuming in the prequels left a lot on the table. The high collar was removed for her appearance in Rogue One, but returned to the same white sheet and tarnished silver chains that were worn in Return of the Jedi. Academy Award-nominated costume designer Michael Wilkinson finally found the potential of Mon Mothma's character and gave her a major glow-up in Andor. Genevieve O'Reilly's warm red hair and muted blue eyes read as a true autumn. This means that creams and gold work best against her skin, unlike the stark white and silver jewelry we've seen in the past. Her low contrast allows her to pull off sweeping monochromatic looks. Wilkinson ran with this concept by adorning her in copper reds and blues to match her hair and eyes. With a combination of dramatic yang and ethereal essence, she looks great in sweeping, floor-length gowns and defined shapes. The light shimmer in her garments makes her face look as if it's drifting away. Far from boring, her gowns incorporate elements of fashion that appeal to autumn color seasons: asymmetric detail, layered fabrics or textures, turtlenecks, and gold jewelry instead of silver. Andor presents by far the most well-realized version of this character. In this scene from Season 1, Episode 7, Announcement, Senator Mon Mothma and her husband Perrin host a party in their residence for the political elite. As we look around the room, we find many unique pieces that combine real-world cultural inspiration with the authoritarian sci-fi world in which the story has found itself. Imperial officers litter the background, upping the tension of the scene. Mon is styled in monochromatic champagne with little contrast. Her brooch and earrings match her dress. A light shimmer in the fabric echoes her ethereal essence. We meet Tay Kolma, portrayed by Ben Miles. Tay is politically opposed to creeping imperial overreach and sees himself as a cold outsider to Coruscant. Ben has winter tones, with dark brown eyes contrasting his cool skin. The icy sheen of gray silk complements his hair, with a blue shawl to add contrast. His overlapping collars form a deep V shape, differentiating his style from Mon Mothma's asymmetric neckline. Mon is risking her position in the Senate and possibly much more by revealing her ties to the rebellion. In David Zyla's book, Color Your Style, he associates color with emotion. He states, "Your essence color is your version of white, to be worn when someone feels open and vulnerable." The champagne color almost melts against Genevieve O'Reilly's warm ivory skin.
Do you see what people say about me? It's a clear picture, isn't it? I'm a polite, sometimes indecisive senator who spends her days fighting and failing to protect separatist do-gooders who battle empire overreach.
Mon Mothma's styling echoes the vulnerability of her character as she hides in plain sight.
The Mon Mothma people think they know. It's a lie, it's a projection, it's a front. Smile.
Now let's take a moment to discuss Lita, Mon's daughter. She has dark eyes and dark brown hair, giving her a beautiful, cool tone contrast. She isn't wearing darkness or contrast in her clothing, however. If you look closely, the silhouette of her gown resembles the outline of a wedding dress. This foreshadows events later in the season, when we learn that her hand in marriage is requested in exchange for a loan from Tay's associate. Mon Mothma's styling in this scene is the culmination of all of her past iterations and her purpose in the Star Wars story. She is at the peak of her power, hiding in plain sight among the Imperial elite, while secretly planning with close friends and allies to spark the rebellion. Mon Mothma is just one example of outstanding styling in Andor. Cyril Karn, played by Kyle Solar, is a deputy inspector for the Preox Morlana, a private security corporation contracted to enforce the jurisdiction of the Empire. Kyle's bright blue eyes and dark brown hair allow him to stand out in saturated blues and pure black. He's a bright winter. His angular jawline and sharp cheekbones reflect a dramatic yang essence. At the start of the series, Cyril's uniform matches his color season and body identity, though we learn that he's made a few modifications.
Have you modified your uniform?
Perhaps slightly. Pockets piping and some light tailoring.
His sense of self-worth is intertwined with what the uniform represents. He views himself as an agent of justice, willing to defy superiors to uphold the law. After his co-workers were murdered, Cyril organized a rogue mission to catch their killer, Cassian Andor. It backfired, resulting in his termination from Premor. In Season 1, Episode 7, Cyril wears a brown suit, which looks off against his cool hue, as he prepares to interview with the Bureau of Standards. His mother notices this.
What makes you believe the Bureau of Standards is in the market for individuals?
It's a brown suit.
After what we've learned about Cyril's pristine attention to dress, why would he want to wear a color that doesn't compliment him? His mother points out that he's had his collar raised.
I had it tailored.
Cyril is not interested in a desk job. He is a man of the law. The brown suit represents this dissonance. He's not where he wants to be. Cyril's costuming reflects his subconscious efforts to sabotage the interview, fueled by his desire to return to his true mission, to see that justice is served by catching Cassian Andor. Andor has achieved mastery of styling by using color, texture, fabric, and silhouette to reflect the complexity of each character and build a more powerful story. Remember, styling is more than just wearing nice clothes. It reflects who you are, where you are, and what you want.
Smile.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe. More videos are coming soon, so stay tuned.